Ever stop to wonder if AI could, peek behind the curtain of time for us? I mean, really tell us what big things are heading our way, or maybe just what the next few years might look like.
It's a huge question, and definitely right at the heart of what we're exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into artificial intelligence and its capabilities, and maybe more importantly, its limitations when it comes to forecasting the near future, say 2025 and beyond.
Exactly. We've looked through, a lot of articles talking about AI predictions, trying to sort out what's, actually plausible versus what's maybe just hype.
And our goal here today is pretty straightforward, really. We want to get a clear picture of what AI can realistically predict right now, what are the big hurdles, and what might be coming next. And crucially, what does all this mean for you as these technologies keep racing forward?
Okay, let's dive in then. What can AI actually do now? Like, in terms of seeing the future? It's not all science fiction, right?
Oh, not at all. AI is already showing some pretty impressive predictive abilities in certain areas. Take weather forecasting. Remember back in 2023? Google's DeepMind. They developed an AI system.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Right, and it could forecast rainfall faster and sometimes more accurately than the traditional models. That's a real-world win for AI prediction. It uses a really sophisticated neural network, basically learning like a brain, but digital.
Wow. Okay, so weather, but it's not just that, is it? I've heard it's making moves in finance too.
Absolutely. For years now, hedge funds Renaissance Technologies is a big name, often mentioned they've been using AI algorithms, trying to spot, profitable trades, predict market shift, how am I going to do it? Exactly. And then you look at healthcare. Think about tools like IBM's Watson analyzing massive data sets to help predict disease risks, or even suggest personalized treatment plans.
So definitely some solid successes there. But I also read about where it kind of hits a wall. Like, it's great with patterns it knows, but struggles with totally new stuff.
That's a really critical point. Current AI models are fundamentally built on, history, on past data. They learn by finding patterns in what's already happened. So while they can be brilliant at extending known trends, they really, really struggle with truly novel, unprecedented events.
You had a great analogy for that earlier. Something about a chess master and a meteor.
Ah, yes. Right. Imagine a chess grandmaster. They've studied endless games. They can anticipate moves with incredible accuracy based on past experience. But if a meteor suddenly just smashed onto the board, all that knowledge is instantly useless for that situation. AI models are similar. Brilliant within their training data, but something completely out of the blue throws them off.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. And didn't the COVID-19 pandemic really drive this home?
It really did. When COVID hit, most AI models were, frankly, blindsided. There just wasn't historical data on that kind of virus with that specific global impact spreading that fast. So models predicting, say, supply chains or economic growth, they suddenly face something totally outside their experience. And this reliance on the past, it also makes predicting, unpredictable human behavior incredibly tough. But we can get more into that.
Okay, so it's like AI gives us this glimpse, but it has some serious blind spots.
Precisely, a crystal ball with blind spots. It offers valuable insights from the past, but it's definitely not foolproof for every unexpected twist.
Right. So, okay, the past data is one big limitation. What are some of the other major hurdles in getting AI to reliably predict what's coming?
Well, a huge one is just the fundamental unpredictability of complex systems, especially systems involving human actions, things like wars, major social shifts, even big scientific breakthroughs. They're often called black swan events.
Black swans. Rare, high impact, hard to see coming.
Exactly. And human behavior itself, driven by emotions, sudden decisions, group dynamics. It's incredibly difficult for algorithms to model accurately. People aren't always logical or predictable.
Tell me about it. What else? What other wrenches get thrown in the works?
Another big one is what's often called the black box problem. With many advanced AI models, especially things like deep learning networks, those complex layered systems we mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, it can be incredibly difficult, sometimes even for the engineers who built them, to understand exactly how the AI reached a specific prediction. That lack of transparency makes it really hard to, trust or validate the output, especially for high-stakes predictions.
That does sound, unsettling. If you can't see the why, how can you fully rely on the what's?
It's a major challenge. And related to that is the issue of bias. AI learns from the data we feed it.
The garbage in, garbage out idea.
Precisely. If the historical data is skewed or reflects existing societal biases, the AI's predictions will likely amplify those biases. There was that example in 2023 where an AI recruiting tool that was found to heavily favor male candidates because it learned from past hiring data that was already biased.
Wow, so it just perpetuates the problem.
It can, yes. And this all ties into really significant ethical concerns. Who is responsible if an AI prediction causes harm? A 2024 EU report actually highlighted how accountability frameworks are lagging behind the technology's capabilities. It's a serious coat we need to grapple with.
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered limitations, challenges. Let's shift gears a bit. Look towards the near future, maybe 2025 and just beyond. What advancements might actually change the prediction game?
Well, one area generating a lot of excitement is quantum computing. If quantum computers really take off, their sheer processing power could just blow the doors off current AI capabilities.
How so? What could that enable?
Imagine climate models that could predict hurricane paths and intensity months in advance with much higher accuracy. Think of the preparation time that gives. Or in medicine, AI perhaps designing truly personalized cancer treatments based on your unique DNA profile, simulated incredibly quickly by quantum processors.
That sounds like a paradigm shift in processing power. I also heard something about making AI less of a black box, more explainable.
Yes, huge efforts are going into AI explainability, or XAI. Companies like Anthropic, for instance, are working on AI that can actually articulate its reasoning process. Think of it like ChatGPT meets Columbo. It gives you the answer, but can also show you how it connected the dots.
I like that. That would definitely build trust, wouldn't it?
Immensely. Knowing the why behind a prediction is crucial. Then there's autonomous vehicles. The next step isn't just navigation, it's anticipation.
You mean predicting accidents before they happen?
Potentially, yes. Using real-time sensor data, AI could learn to spot the subtle precursors to a collision, that slight swerve, the unexpected braking pattern, and react proactively. It could lead to a massive drop in accidents.
That's incredible to think about. Cars with near future foresight. I also saw some speculation about AI predicting social movements, analyzing online trends. Sounds tricky.
It is tricky and very cutting edge. Researchers are exploring using AI to sift through vast amounts of social media data, news reports, other digital signals, trying to spot the early indicators of, say, large-scale protests or shifts in public opinion.
So could AI have foreseen something like the Arab Spring? Or maybe, I don't know, a viral TikTok trend that suddenly moves stock prices?
That's the fascinating and perhaps slightly unnerving question I'm asking. Could it? And this also bumps up against that really complex issue we touched on earlier. Yeah, the line between prediction and influence.
Right. If the AI predicts a trend, does the prediction itself help create the trend?
Exactly. Does highlighting a potential social movement inadvertently give it momentum? It's a feedback loop that's really hard to untangle.
That's a bit mind-bending. It really complicates the idea of just passively observing the future, which actually leads us nicely into some of the deeper ethical questions, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The potential power of future AI prediction raises some profound ethical dilemmas.
Like the whole Minority Report scenario, right? Yeah. If an AI predicts with high certainty that someone is about to commit a crime, what do you do?
That's the classic provocative example. Do you intervene beforehand? What does that mean for due process, for free will? We see echoes of this debate already in discussions around predictive policing, using AI to forecast crime hotspots or potential offenders. There's a real tension between the potential benefits, like preventing crime, and the significant risks to privacy, potential for bias reinforcement, and increased surveillance.
It's a very fine line to walk. What about other areas, like the financial markets we mentioned earlier?
That's another big one. If AI becomes dominant in predicting market movements, what happens? A study in 2023 suggested that automated AI-driven stock trading can actually amplify market volatility, making swings bigger and faster. And you get in the realm of self-fulfilling prophecies. If enough AI systems predict the stock will rise and start buying, well, the stock will rise simply because of the AI's actions.
So the prediction creates its own reality.
In some cases, yes. It blurs the line between forecasting an outcome and causing it.
Okay, wow. We've gone through a lot, the current wins, the big hurdles, future tech, ethical minefields. So, boiling it all down, what's the verdict? Can AI predict the future, or is it more like, I don't know, sophisticated guesswork?
I think the most honest answer is yes, but with major caveats. AI can predict certain aspects of the future, often with increasing accuracy, but those significant limitations and conditions are crucial. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but it is absolutely not an all-knowing oracle.
I remember you mentioned a quote from Dr. Kai-Fu Lee.
Yes, he put it very well. AI will get better at forecasting, but chaos and human free will keep the future mysterious. I think that captures the balance nicely.
That really resonates. So looking ahead, maybe to 2030, what's a realistic picture of how AI prediction might be part of our daily lives?
By 2030, it seems quite probable that AI will be a much more common integrated tool. You might see AI commonly assisting with personalized financial planning, helping doctors with diagnoses and treatment suggestions, providing much more granular climate forecasting guidance.
We still need to keep our wits about us, right? Remember the blind spots.
Absolutely. The unpredictable will always happen. Human intuition, critical thinking, ethical judgment, these remain irreplaceable. The most likely and probably most beneficial future is one where humans and AI work together.
Like a partnership.
Exactly. AI provides the data crunching, the pattern recognition, the probabilistic forecasts. Humans provide the context, the creativity, the common sense, the ethical oversight. Think of AI less as a crystal ball and more as a really powerful co-pilot helping us navigate uncertainty.
A co-pilot for uncertainty. I like that framing. Okay, so for everyone listening, the key takeaway seems to be AI is this incredibly powerful prediction engine, and it's evolving fast. But it's definitely not infallible, and we absolutely need to be aware of the limitations and these serious ethical questions as it develops further.
Precisely. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Considering everything we've talked about, the power, the limits, the ethics, what's one area of your own life or society where you think AI predictions will make the biggest wave in the next few years? And maybe more importantly, what do you see as the biggest opportunities or the biggest potential risks in that specific area? It's definitely something worth pondering.
Great food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI prediction and what the future might just hold. We'll catch you on the next one.